I can wait.
You're like, I can hold it as long as I need to. Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Voices from the Mausoleum. We're here with our January live. Today, I'm joined with Polterguy Steve, who's been on my channel before, my collaboration partner, my friend, my fellow horror content creator and horror lover. So, yay!
What an introduction. Thank you.
I mean, every word.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to be here. This is my first. I've done like live streams with like Twitch, like gaming or whatever, but this is like my first
This is a little different.
Well,
yeah.
This is very different. This is so I'm excited.
I've heard like doing live on Twitch is like really overwhelming. Because you have so much stuff to like kind of manage while you're also playing and stuff.
Yes, actually, because I just got my second monitor recently, so I didn't have it when I was doing Twitch. That would have been helpful. But you have your gaming situation. I had like my iPad open with like comments going, and then I had like my phone on to make sure the stream was happening okay.
Oh my God.
It was an ordeal. I don't. It was a lot. I mean, I felt like I was like a hacker or like watching some kind of security cam situation. I was like, and it was like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, okay, this screen's good. This screen's good. Okay.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And I know when the first time I ever did these, I was like super paranoid, and I would go to YouTube to make sure it was like showing. I don't even do that anymore. I just have faith that it's going to work out. I don't even check. Hi, Norin. Pumped and ready.
Hi.
Let's see. Biggest hope for horror is that the community grows strong, which brings more directors, writers, and actors to the genre. Yeah, so that's kind of our conversation. That's our talking points for tonight. Is kind of I wanted to kind of reflect a little bit on 2022 and like what happened with horror in that year, and then, but also more of just like what are some expectations, things, our hopes, dreams, wishes, for like the new year. Because like I mean, come on, like 2022 was like the craziest year I've seen in horror, at least as an adult, so like
a solid year. I mean, like comparative to like the golden years, right? Like golden years. I don't know. There's so many of them too, right? You have like the slasher boom of the 80s. Then you have like the the 60s with Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So
stages.
Right, the stage. This feels like this is going to define the era, right? I feel like 22 will be like that was the 20s, right? The 2020s.
Yeah.
But Norin's comment really kind of makes me. One of my points was when I wrote a little list of my hopes or whatever, and that was more indie recognition, right? I mean, I think right, talking about like a strong community, right? More writers, directors, right? This like grassroots, like we just. In our last episode of the Coffee Crypt, right, we talked about Skinamarink, right? Like that's amazing.
Yeah, and even not just Skinamarink either, but that originally the Winnie the Pooh movie Blood and Honey was not getting a theatrical release, but then it had so much traction, so much interest, so much love behind it. Like people were like really backing this project, and so they were like, well, I think we could do something with this. Let's do, a theatrical release. So it comes out in theaters in February. And that's a community thing. The community did that.
I feel bad for all the kids that are going to go to that movie thinking it's good
old
Winnie the Pooh film.
Scarred forever. Body horror is growing in popularity, which makes me happy.
Yes. I mean,
that's
we're definitely
true.
Gonna get that.
Gore has kind of taken over in general. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think directors are maybe given more of more leeway, more like room, like creative room to do stuff like that. I mean, look at Terrifier 2, right?
Yeah, that was immediately where my mind went to, and I haven't even seen it yet, but I just know that it's like kind of bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, it was gory. I do think the kill. Did you see the first one?
No.
There's a kill in the first one that I think is probably worse than anything that they did in the second one.
Oh,
I mean, it's gorier in the sense of like there's more blood, there's more like kind of pieces of body. I don't know, but the thing that he does but the thing that he does in one, I'm like, oh, that's not. It was gnarly, but I'm just trying to think. I mean, there's Terrifier 2, but then like. Malignant had some good gore, if I'm remembering.
I would call some of that stuff was definitely body horror. I mean, in my opinion.
In
Malignant. I know that's like a divisive one though. That's one that like some people hated, some people liked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's I'm in the liked camp.
I liked it too. I think James Wan doing something outside of the stuff he's been doing. I'm for it. Like stepping outside of his comfort zone, doing a creature feature sci-fi weird, like something outside of the box for him. I was super on board with it.
Yeah. And I appreciate body horror. Like it's also I think something that comes to mind with body horror is like the Saw franchise, which I know is going to make a comeback. But there's something like, would you agree that there's just something different about the Saw franchise's version of gore versus like what we might normally think of body horror in a different context? Like, does it just kind of feel
masterpiece?
Oh,
Terrifier 2. What's up, Rick? That's Rick from Horror Fiend TV. If you guys aren't following him or them, you should be. They're really great. I need to see it, but I'm a little nervous going in with any hype because so many people are loving it, you know. Hatching, you won't be alone.
Masterpiece is a big word.
It is. And you put in all caps.
It is a very hyped up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually did watch The Hatching. And I loved it. I hated You Won't Be Alone, and I didn't get to see Men.
Men was fun.
Hatching did have a lot of body horror, though. It was good. I liked that one a lot.
That was the one, I didn't see it, but that was the French one?
Yes, with subtitles.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I know. And then I think the damn it is because your caps lock was on weird. I think you sent the message like yeah, so with Saw being different in terms of what were you saying? Say that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes. Okay, so just I always think of body horror like, like a very kind of visceral. I don't know, I guess what the traps I feel like put it in a different light as opposed to it being more supernatural or something different. It just almost felt sterile in a way. I don't mean just the Saw franchise, but because I do really like the first one. I think the first one is like
I liked the first three.
The first three do work as a good trilogy, but I think the first one really kind of just stands on its own as being like a really good procedural kind of mystery situation with a good twist.
It was good. Yeah. I literally when I remember watching this at home. And I literally remember like sliding onto the floor in like awe of the ending. I was like, because I was just like, oh my God, like, and of course, when that came out, I was a teenager, I think. It was like a lot to process, like that had just happened. That's a great one. Well, I know a lot of people call that like torture porn, right? Like a lot of people say that Saw movies, I don't really feel like that's the case because I feel like when you're putting something into like that bucket, it usually doesn't really have much of a story to me. Like there's not a lot of depth, but I feel like that's not really something. I feel like the Saw franchise has a story. I think it has depth,
Yeah, no, torture porn makes it sound like a snuff film.
No, exactly. Yeah, and I wouldn't put Saw under that category.
No, not at all. I mean, like, I'm trying to think. I mean, I've never seen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've just never given up the kind of movie at a time where it's like true, like torture porn. Because even like Hostel had a story.
Oh, see, to me, that's what Hostel is.
Oh no, Hostel. I guess so. I mean, it's been a minute since I've watched it, but it was. I mean, it was a story, right?
Well, the first one only had like 20 minutes of gore.
Fair.
It's like 45. It's like 45 minutes to an hour of like sex and drugs and partying, and then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's right, gore. Throw it in there, and then it's just like, boom, like floodgates opening.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, I didn't care for that one, so I didn't see any of the other ones. If Saw was to come out today, it would never be labeled that. You don't think so, huh? That's probably a fair assessment.
I think it would be completely applauded. I don't think anyone would even like, because I think it's such a good like twist, and it has such a good like I said, like almost like that cop procedural kind of mystery to it. Like
and it also took me back to like what it felt like to watch Seven for the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's got those very like earthy rust colors, that like grit filter over a lot of it. whatever you like, whatever you would call that. Like it just has like a very specific look. Yes.
True. Right. No one's batting an eye at Terrifier 2, right?
No, everyone's just eating it up, like celebrating it.
Exactly. Times are different.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think, I actually really, I don't know what they're going to do with this newest one. I didn't like Spiral. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
With Chris Rock.
I didn't hate it, but like it didn't like reinvigorate my love for like that world the way they were probably hoping it would.
No, I think they should have just left that one alone. Like, I don't think they should have.
That's another thing. It's so hard because it's so tied to Jigsaw in a way that's like different from like Scream is tied to Ghostface, right? Because
Agreed.
Ghostface is like a new person, new mantle, which is kind of like what they ended up doing with Saw, but everything goes back to Tobin Bell, right? And it just kind of feels like, how many apprentices can he have? How many? I mean, it just feels weird,
Well, and how many times can you have this conversation of like, when they did the first one, it was this weird sense of like giving people like a purpose, making people look at life differently, getting a better perspective, yada, yada. Right. But then, as the story went on and Amanda took over, like she was just cruel. Yeah. And they just kept doing that. Like every new person was just like a sick son of a bitch. Like that's all it was. And it took away from the magic of the storytelling that was in the first three, because you're not given any of that. Cause it's like, they reveal later that like none of the traps are actually like built to be escaped. And like, you're learning all of these things, and it just completely took away from it for me.
Yeah. It undermined its own like message, its own point.
Mm-hmm. You agree? Thumbs up. Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah, maybe. I think so 2022, when I started like really paying attention to the indie side of things, because I, up until not that long ago, I was like into very mainstream horror. I didn't watch a lot of stuff. It was like, I wasn't involved in the community enough to like really know about stuff outside of what was being presented when I went to see another movie. Right. So one of the things that I think was so great about indie that I think is going to help, as we continue to move forward with horror, is things like Tubi and Shudder. And the other one, Screambox, is the newer one that hasn't even been around that long.
They carry Terrifier 2, actually. They were
yeah. And so like you have these companies that are willing to say, hey, at these festivals, because that's what happened to The Last Thing Mary Saw, which is an indie film it's a Shudder original. But it did the festival circuit, and Shudder got interested in it, and they put it on Shudder, and it was a fantastic movie. And it was people I'd never seen before. One person I had seen before, the girl from The Orphan. I can't think of her name. Oh, and there was two people. I'm sorry. But anyway, the point is, it was an indie film, and it got backed by a company that could put it in front of more people. And that's the game changer for getting indie content out for other people to view and see, for movies, shorts, whatever. And that was huge last year, because when I did my top 10 list for 2022, there were a lot of indie films that got bumped up above big hitters because they were better made. They were better movies. They were scarier. They had better stories, whatever. And that's just been like a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I still had my 22 top list with me. I could have referenced it. I'm sure it's somewhere, but
because you don't remember what they were.
I know I remember what they are. I just have to kind of go through. Because
I agonized over that list for literally weeks. I was like, I've got to just commit. It was such a hard list to make. Saw I Can Take or Leave. It's one of those franchises I feel is overrated. I'm going to call Norin out. You know what else he doesn't really care for? Season of the Witch. I love that movie. Norin.
Wait, Norin doesn't care for it?
He doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun one. I think it's fun.
It's like second to last at the bottom of his ratings for Halloween.
It's so different. I mean, yeah, I get it. Michael's not in it. Take that out of the equation. It's a
Rick, I forgot you were here. Rick and I are both like really big like Season of the Witch people. I totally forgot. And then
Uh-oh, we're starting a brawl here.
Yeah. Well, I saw he shared Norin shared his ratings or his listing for them like today. And so I just happened to see it. So it's like it's fresh on the mind. I had to give you a hard time.
Do
Sorry.
you want to hear my crazy fan theory on how they could do a sequel to Season of the Witch?
Team Tina for life. Halloween 5.
Oh, Tina's great. I love Tina. And the way she's friends with Jamie and the way she talks and treats Jamie, I adore those two.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, so my crazy theory on how they could do a sequel to Season of the Witch. So you know how they reference, reference the masks in like the Halloween reboot. You know,
Yeah.
so they're there, and like the kids are like, so you do a second season of the Witch, and you have it take place during Halloween 2018, and so that's how you kind of do like a cool anthology thing.
That
It's
would
like
be fun.
Michael's going around killing people on Halloween,
But also,
meanwhile, kids are out wearing masks, and that shit's going down at the same time. And like you can do like a crazy, like whole crazy ass thing. I think it would be so cool.
oh, I love that. And you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of Trick or Treat, where there's all those things going on at the same time in one night, and they're all around each other, but they're all different stories.
Because I know Carpenter wanted to do that anthology originally, and I think it's a cool idea. Like people love Michael so much, and I get it. He's cool. I mean, like you can kind of see my pop of him over there. I love him, but
I can see part of his face.
You see his like eye peeking out. He's just kind of like, how you doing?
Yeah,
oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I know they wouldn't do anything like that. But I don't know. I can dream.
I like the idea though. I feel like you should be pitching at a table or something. As long as they use the Silver Shamrock theme. Oh God. I know that's a hard one. So that was one of the things. Season of the Witch was one of the things that helped me get, and you know this because we reviewed it together, helped me really get a different perspective on Halloween Ends, because there was just something about going back and watching it, and then like it just, I don't know, something about it just like it just helped. I don't know how to explain it. Obviously there's a lot of nods to Season of the Witch and Halloween Ends, but like there was just something about going back and seeing the different Halloween's movie, right? And then it just, I don't know, it just gave me like a bigger appreciation for it.
Yeah, because it could still feel like Halloween, right? Because I feel like Halloween is more than just Michael and Laurie, right? It's a tone, it's a feel, it's a vibe, right? Everyone talks about how amazing like the aesthetic of Halloween 4 is. Like you could do stuff like that and have different
Yeah. So 2022 was a big deal for horror. We had a lot going on. So what are your hopes for like what did you see last year that you hope is like only going to grow?
Oh, okay. So I want more fun horror, like fun in the sense of like camp. And I know you're not crazy about horror comedy, but like not necessarily like LOL Hardy Heart, but more like burning satire. You know, like I really like The Menu. I recommended that on our last Coffee Crypt, but I'm thinking, oh my God, what's the movie that came out? Barbarian. I know you didn't like that either.
I didn't like it. But it's not because it was supposed to be. It's not. But that wasn't the reason, though.
Yeah.
That wasn't the reason I didn't like it. You know what? One of my favorite ones that's like that is. Well, I have a few, but the one that I always talk about the most because I feel like it really did toe the line like perfectly for a comedy horror is Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
fun.
Yeah. Like Norin just referenced Vicious
Yes,
Fun.
I love Vicious Fun was a really cool movie. I really enjoyed that one.
It was a cool cast.
It was a great cast, but it was very funny. I liked it.
Yeah, that movie had such a good energy about it too.
It did from the beginning, from like the first 4 minutes. You're just like in. I really liked that one.
And the killers were cool. Like all the different characters were fun.
It was good.
It was Vicious Fun. That was it was in the title. It was a fun movie. Malignant wasn't this year, but you know what though, I would say like Megan is certainly, I think, starting off the trend of having camp and fun, right? Like, I do like my dark and serious horror. You know, I mean, I want to be terrified. I want all that good stuff too. But I do love just kind of like.
I was going to say Vicious Fun. I typed too slow.
That's a good
Use
one.
speech to text. Come on, man.
Oh, I do speech to text, and it comes out like
Mine doesn't even work anymore. I just send voice notes. I'm a lazy texter, which you know this.
It just sounds like I'm making up like Willy Wonka candies. Like when like it just is bad. It just comes out horrible. Really. But like fun. But you know what? Speaking of Megan though, and this is something not even just for 23 and onward. I always say I want original iconic slashers or like killers, villains. Like I feel like we tend to keep going back to the well, right? Like the Michaels, the Jasons, the Freddys, right? I mean, yes, I know, we're all of that certain age, right? Millennials, Gen X, right? We grew up with these killers, and it's great. We love the nostalgia, but it is something in me that wants something fresh, cool. Like,
I know what you
take the
mean.
risk, come up with a cool design. I mean, Malignant gave us kind of a cool thing. But I don't think that's going to become a franchise. Maybe it doesn't have to be a franchise, I guess.
No, I would just take one off in like individual ones. Cause that's the thing is like, as much as I'm trying to think of all the cause we got Scream 5, we had Halloween Ends, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there was a new Jeepers Creepers. I mean, we had a lot of franchise editions this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them were good. Some of them were not. I was really not a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, but I think it's fine. Like I can still watch those and enjoy them and be excited about them. Like, how I feel about Scream 6. I'm amped, but like I'm with you. Like I would like to see something different, and that whether it's a franchise or not, I want to see something different.
Yeah, I mean slashers are coming back in general. So like if you're gonna do it, now is the time to do something new and different. Like just like put all your money in like a really cool design, like not necessarily money, but all your creativity in a cool design.
Yeah, my favorite recent slashers are Pearl, of course. She is great, and The Other from Hellfest.
I didn't see The Other from Hellfest.
Me either.
Yeah, Pearl I love. Well, X. I think I liked X more than Pearl. I mean, Pearl, that performance she gave was incredible. But I think X, just for it being the 70s, and I think I kind of liked the messaging and like a lot of the stuff that they were doing with X. I think I appreciate it. But I still that character is Mia Goth is just amazing.
Yeah, because the next one comes out this year, right?
Maxine. Yeah. Oh, I'm so curious what they're gonna do with there's so many ways they could take it. I mean, I have a feeling I know what they're going to do, but I'm hoping they subvert expectations.
Yeah.
I hate it when I guess it, and I can't say I always get it right. I hate it when I do because I do want to be shocked.
I want to be wrong. I'm like that too. I make guesses all the time. Mm-hmm. Some of my guesses for Barbarian that ended up being wrong would have made the movie better. They should just let me write the movie. Because some of those things I was like, oh, it would be really cool if they did this, and then it was like, no, we're not doing that. Okay, cool, you do whatever. I was super disappointed in Barbarian. I did love Don't Worry Darling though. Loved that one. Yeah. I liked other stuff too, but I just that was one of the big ones that a lot of people talked about that I didn't really care about.
That's fair. What about you?
Well, this is probably like a duh answer for me, right? But I want more found footage, but I don't want any more funny found footage. Like if y'all could just not, that'd be good. I want scary found footage. Yeah. I want gritty and dark and weird found footage. I do not want comedy found footage. I feel like I've manifested found footage. I was like, people are going to one day realize that this is the best subgenre of horror. And then it picked up traction, but then everything that came out was funny. And I was like, oh, it's my least favorite thing at horror, Yeah. And so I was just kind of I didn't really care for Deadstream. I think the VHS 99 is the weakest link. Maybe, no, I guess Viral was pretty bad. That's the third one. Second weakest link in the VHS series. 94 was so good, so strong.
That's my favorite one.
That's my favorite one too. Yeah. I like that one more than the first one. 94 was so good. Incantation was really good. Incantation made my top list for 2022. Yep. That was about it though. On the found footage front, there wasn't anything else. So that's what I want. I want more found footage. And because, I do a weekly show on found footage. So I watch so much of it, and it's not all, a lot of it is just so bad. Like I want some good, like scary. I did watch, and I won't talk too much about this because I'm still going to do a review on it, but I watched one called Unknown Visitor, which is done completely through a Ring doorbell. That's it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very cool. There's definitely some weak spots, but it was really cool concept. They got some really unique shots. Like I really liked it a lot, but I want like really, really good found footage movies. Like that's like, I want that so badly. Cause I'm sorry. I'm so tired of watching the not great ones,
You know what they could do is like, not mix up the genre in terms of like make a comedy or something, but like mix up like the kind of ways they're telling the story. Like Through the Ring is really cool. I just recently, because I didn't watch it when it first came out, but Host, it was like the seance on the
Host is brilliant. That is a brilliant movie.
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
That was so good.
But like even changing up, like, obviously they've done like the paranormal investigation found footage type movies, right? They've done like, so maybe changing up the subgenre a little bit, or like where the horror is coming from. I mean, I don't even know. Like, could you imagine like a Saw movie found footage? That would make it feel like torture porn.
That might would.
That might really actually make it feel like a snuff film. But you know what I mean, right? Like change up like where, like what kind of horror,
Yeah, and like bouncing off of what you said, like also using different technology. Like, so I don't know if you've heard of this one or seen this, but I'm sure you know of Open Water, right? The shark movie.
Oh yeah.
It's not really there's not very many sharks in it. But anyway, it's a shark movie. And but the third one is called Open Water, and it's found footage, and it is so good and so creepy. Night underwater shots of sharks eating people. Are you kidding me? So good.
Ooh, that sounds
it's
wild.
So good. If you watch it, it was streaming like a couple months ago.
Open Water 3?
Open Water. It's called Open Water 3 Cage Dive. Ooh, if you watch it, just skip the first 45 minutes with the people drama and then just get to the water part. And then it's so freaking good. But to your point, it's creative. Right. It's not just it's not a third person shark story, which is what we normally get, obviously. I think it's the only found footage shark movie that exists currently, but it was just a really smart use of that situation and having the cameras, and oh my God, the final, it's so freaking good. Cannot recommend that one enough. But I'd like, to your point, using technology in different ways than we have seen it used previously.
They used there was a Ring episode in American Horror Stories, like the other.
I haven't watched that. Yeah.
I stopped watching both of them, but I mean, it was okay. It was a good episode.
You were like, man,
I just can't be invested anymore. I'm like,
yeah.
But anyway, I you know what? I always bitch about people who complain about things. I'm like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But then I always find myself complaining about American Horror Story, and I'm like, I am such a hypocrite. I can't stop. But anyway, so bad.
Oh.
Yeah. I was saying I also want more mysteries. I was just thinking about Scream, and and the popularity of like the whodunit formula is coming back, right? Yeah. Because we have like the Knives Out movies, and people are like loving those, and people really like Glass Onion. That did well for Netflix.
Yeah.
And there's a new murder mystery show coming out with Natasha Lyonne on Peacock, and I'm really, Natasha Lyonne, right?
I think I also know what show you're talking about.
Yeah, it's called Poker Face. It's by Ryan Johnson, who did.
I love her. She's from Orange Is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black, yes. Red. Yeah.
Love her.
And she's
also in a really, really funny movie called But I'm a Cheerleader.
I love But I'm a Cheerleader.
Isn't it such a good movie? They're in the side, I know this has nothing to do with horror, but really quick side note. When they're pointing out her pillows and like the stuff in her room that make her obviously a lesbian, I was dying. I was like, oh my God. This is how it really happens sometimes. Like,
oh my God, it is so funny. I remember watching that because I was part of like an LGBT thing in college, and that was part of our film festival series. It's so funny. It's good.
A great movie. Great movie. Anyway, sorry, I just had to ask if you'd seen that because I love.
No, yeah.
But yes, that does look good. I watched the trailer for that. It showed up on Facebook or something the other day.
Yeah. I mean, they're pushing for it. I hope it's like more than one season. I saw somewhere that it was going to be like a mini series. So hopefully, if it does well, it comes back.
Oh, and it'll be longer.
Yeah. But
Mysteries would be good.
Yeah, like more like mystery heavy films.
And not just like family secret stuff. Like I want like something outside of the box with that too, because everything is in a small town. Everything is a family secret. It's like the same, like we were just talking about. It's the same stuff recycled over and over and over again. And it's just, it gets so old so fast. Like I know a lot of people, it's PG-13, so it sucks. But I really liked The Invitation. Did you see that one?
No. I wanted to, and
I really enjoyed it. It's streaming. I think it's on like Netflix or something, but it's streaming now. But it was really good. And I went into that one completely blind. So I didn't know what it was about. So when it got to the point where it revealed it, I was like, what? Because I didn't know. Well, a lot of people knew because they watched the trailer, but I didn't know. So it was like a whole different experience for me than it was like everyone else that went and saw it, I guess. But it was
such a
really
good way to go
fun.
into a movie. It's it's hard not wanting to watch a trailer for things.
It is. There's a few I wasn't going to be able to skip, like Scream, Evil Dead. There's some others. Like I'm not going to be able to resist watching them.
I mean, we just have to have faith in them that they're not going to spoil too much for us. I mean, I know a lot of people were able to kind of like dissect the Scream 5 trailer and like figure out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it some people, because people watch it intensely. I didn't
do that with 5. Yeah. I do think something that was a mistake in 5 is I do think it was always obvious who one of the killers was. I knew as soon as they introduced her. I was like, oh, one. Like I knew immediately.
Oh, you mean like in the movie context or in the trailer?
In the movie.
In the movie context.
Because that's the thing with like when you see the first one, when we get introduced to like the concept of 2 killers, right? We're thinking one because that's what it normally is in these kind of movies, right? And so like we're thinking one, and then the boyfriend is like out of the picture, and it's like, well, how could it be the boyfriend if he was locked up? And there's all these things, and they did such a great job of like misdirection.
Yeah.
But as the films kind of go on, it just becomes really obvious who the killers are, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Except for 3, because that was so far out in left field with their weird ass story. But anyway, I haven't watched the trailer. I know. And I will say, Rick,
so
I did know. I know. And because you, Rick, talk about like not doing the trailers, I always there's been a few that I didn't watch trailers and I went in and it changed the experience, and The Invitation was one of them, for real. Judy's death killed me in Scream 5. It still haunts me even more than Dewey.
That's actually my favorite death in that movie.
Yeah, because I was not emotionally connected to her, but yes, I agree with what you're saying here with it being such a surprise. Yeah.
That cat and mouse situation that was just so fun.
And it's like out in the middle of the day. Yeah. It's like out in like an open. That's not something. I mean, the movie theater scene in 2 is like the closest to that we've ever come, but that was a very specific situation. This was broad freaking daylight, and they're so good. That was a great kill. It's so weird. It's a horror channel, right? You can say stuff.
Right. It's so weird when we say that stuff. Yeah. If out of context, right? If someone's just like listening in, like,
yeah,
honey, I think we better move.
That's right.
I was like next door here. But yeah, no, that's my. It seems like we're gonna get a lot of that in 6. If we like these out in the open kills.
I'm so ready for 6. Like I can't even wait. I'm like counting down the days. I'm like, it's gonna be so good. And that's the thing is like, I don't really buy into franchises like that to that extent. But we've also got, they're doing a new Insidious. They're doing another Conjuring. They're doing another, like, this is like the era of franchises, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, if they do well, they're going to keep doing them.
You're not wrong.
As well.
Nun 2. That's the other one.
Oh, Nun 2. Yeah, even though the Nun 1 was, even though I like Taissa Farmiga, but the movie was like, meh. I really wanted we love our tangents.
Welcome to the channel.
So speaking of just like things that needed a spin-off from The Conjuring, I really liked the Crooked Man from 2. I really
that got canceled.
That got canceled. I really wanted that one. Because that was actually my favorite creature from that one.
It was really cool. It's also very creepy, but I think what they came across when they were talking about about having to cancel, they couldn't connect it. And I think it was like bothering them because there's no reason for that character to be a real character because it was meant to be a manifestation from something, and so that made it hard, I think, for them to connect it. But also Conjuring universe fans are relatively loyal. I think it still probably could have been successful.
I think so. I would have been there.
Me too. Probably opening weekend. I love the Conjuring franchise. The only ones I didn't like were I didn't like The Nun, and I didn't like the 2 Annabelle movies. The first one and Annabelle's Beginning or The Beginning or whatever.
There was Annabelle Creation and then Annabelle Comes Home.
Creation. That's the one I didn't like. Okay. I really liked Comes Home.
Comes Home I liked. I like Creation. I thought Creation was
that's
better.
The orphanage one, right? With the girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. It was better. I thought it was better than the first one.
Well, that was a very low bar. Like the first one, the biggest problem with that one to me was how much of it shows the demon. The doll is what's scary, bro. Like, stop showing us that shit. I don't want to see it anymore. Do not show me that demon anymore. I was so mad.
I know. The less
Annabelle Comes Home, I loved. I really did too. I also will say, from a creative standpoint, I thought it was really smart to throw in all those other stories in smaller segments in one film. That was so smart and fun because we got like a werewolf, we got the ferryman, we got like all these really cool things, the bride, all that stuff. I was there for all of that. I loved it.
I know, it was like the Warrens' Cabinet of Curiosities, right? It was just I like
an anthology film. Yeah. So good.
Oh man. Random thought of what I want for horror, because we talked a little bit of this on the Coffee Crypt. I think I brought up New Mutants, which was like the horror
That's
X-Men.
a movie.
Yeah. It was with Anna Taylor-Joy, Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. I want more like horror in other things. Like I was thinking, like I'm seeing like my X-Men thing back here, and I'm like thinking like because we got Multiverse of Madness, like Doctor Strange 2 dabbled with horror. Then we got Marvel also did Werewolf by Night, which I actually really loved on
That Disney was Plus. So good.
That was freaking
They're gonna do more, right? Like, no way.
Yeah. Like, I want to see horror. Like, I think horror is becoming, I mean, it was always mainstream. I think always people, but it's not like, I don't know. I think just it's being embraced more. I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, it was like the like cousin no one wanted to come to the family event. And now people are like happy to invite it over. Because they're like, oh, people like this. We've been telling y'all that for 50 years. Like, yeah.
Right. I just want to see it be embraced in different ways, different new exciting ways, bring it in to like other stuff.
Werewolf by Night was so good. I almost forgot about that. That was a good one.
I probably should have included it in my top list because I guess it's a short film technically. It's like a special. Right?
It's like an hour, right? Yeah.
So which is funny because that's how long movies used to be.
Once upon a time,
many years
4 hours
ago,
long.
They really weren't that long.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like I guess that just kind of goes back to like talking about like genre blending or just.
Oh shit! I totally missed this. Sorry, Rick. I totally missed this. Prey was really good.
Oh, Hulu. Yeah.
I guess I scrolled down. I don't know what happened. But yes, I agree. Prey was really good. I loved Prey. Hulu in general had a lot of 2022 originals. That one I think you watched, Grim Cuddy, that was a Hulu original.
Was that last year though? That was
2022. Yeah. Prey and Hellraiser was the other one. That was really good.
Right. See, but like Hellraiser and Prey and I think other franchise comebacks, but like those two in particular, that's like how you really revitalize a franchise. Like you take something that's kind of like stale, like been around a long time, and you just breathe new life into it.
Yeah, especially because both in the instance with Prey and the instance with Hellraiser, they got a little bad at the end, like as far as their chains of like movies or whatever. And so I mean, like Hellraiser got like really nuts after like 4, I don't even know, there's like 50 of them, but anyway, but like, and to your point, like definitely like bringing like more into, because that's the thing is like it's okay to like, when we talked about this a little bit already, but like I want new too, but I am really okay with like new visions on, you know, like old things that we love or we grew up with or we've seen change over the years. And yeah, Rick is a big comic nerd.
Oh, Rick, we can have some conversations.
Yeah, y'all could, because he's a well-rounded nerd also.
Rick is probably more, because he's saying he grew up on Werewolf by Night. He's probably a little more well-versed than I am. Like I have my specific things that I like to read, but now I'm kind of starting to get back into I started to read the old 70s X-Men. So not like so it started with Stan Lee in the 60s and it wasn't that good. It was about to get canceled, and then they brought in Chris Claremont in the 70s, and they like completely, that's like he introduced Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, like pretty much everyone that you're gonna like know. But I started reading that one, so I'm getting back into it.
Nerds. No,
just
kidding. Fresh was on Hulu. I forgot about that. Fresh was so good. Fresh was in the running for my top 10. I loved that one. Sebastian Stan, come on.
He's a good villain. He really nailed that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. I'm only a few like issues in. I read the giant-sized X-Men, like the beginning one, and then I'm like a few issues into it.
I don't even know. I've completely lost track of what you're even talking about at this point.
Sorry, Angel. we've hijacked your live stream to talk about X-Men.
That's okay. Well, we were just talking about bringing the community together. Now y'all can be friends.
God. But yeah. Anyway, but it was like all that to say, it was like, I want to see more horror, because I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness. Wanda's my favorite character in the MCU, and I really love just seeing her as like the Scarlet Witch and being all evil witchy, and it's fun. It reminded me of Dark Willow. If we're gonna talk about I know you like Buffy, right?
Just like a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Talk about tangents. I just want you to know that depending on what happens in the next hour, you brought Buffy up, not me.
I'm happy.
No, I got that. I didn't see. I didn't watch WandaVision because I felt like it was going to be really sad, and I didn't want to watch it because I have to be in the mood to watch sad things. Genuinely, I mean that genuinely. Because that's obviously after Infinity Wars. I know Vision. Like I was like, I can't do this. Like it's going to upset me. I'm going to have to like get to it later in life. And I also have not seen Madness, the Doctor Strange. Whatever.
Oh man, I mean,
I haven't seen that yet either.
I'm rewatching the MCU, and I sobbed during WandaVision, the end of, because there's also like parent-child stuff, and like there's a lot of stuff in it. Like, yeah. I mean, it won't ruin your life, but like it'll.
Well, I mean, I'm going to see Evil Dead in theaters. I probably should suck that up anyway, because I feel like we're about to get.
Speaking of Children in Danger, Evil Dead Rise is going to be a whole.
I've heard a lot of people say this, that the new Doctor Strange was pure Sam Raimi.
I mean, down to the camera. I mean, it had the whole.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say that was like one of the loves for it. I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to see more. Yeah, I want to see more Raimi, more pure Raimi. I think would be great. I mean, if we got to shout out like a single director to do more, please do more, Sam.
Yeah. I would like to see more from Jordan Peele, and oh my God, Nia DaCosta, the woman who did Candyman.
Candyman. I really like the new Candyman.
Give her more stuff to do. Like she's amazing. That film,
a Marvel movie.
I thought about that movie for months after I saw it. It got me so bad.
Yeah. It was the only issue I had with it. It's not even like a real issue. I wanted more from I think the third act could have been longer. it felt a little like fast at the end for me.
It was quick. Well, and it was quick specifically for a Candyman film because Candyman was very slow.
Yeah, like I just feel like reveals happened, boom, boom, boom,
and then it was like boom, boom, done. Yeah,
done.
no, you're right. It was kind of like
yeah,
that.
but like as a whole, I love that movie.
I genuinely love that one too. I left so the credits when the credits go, it does the puppets, you know, the shadow puppets. And I literally was like in tears. Like I was like watching, it was like so emotionally like charged that whole last, few minutes with the credits or whatever. And it was such a great experience. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
What's up, Bud and Bruce? Hi.
Hello.
What are you looking forward to in horror for 2023? I'm assuming it's Albert, but I don't actually know. Maybe it is. He'll tell us. Albert just came on and did An American Werewolf in London with me for a review.
That's a fun one.
Big werewolf fan. Like myself.
Well, hopefully the wolf pack's good. Speaking of werewolves.
Teen Wolf Part 2. Hopefully it will be. Hopefully it'll be a little darker. Teen Wolf is too teen. Like I just couldn't. It was a lot of drama.
I mean, I think Wolfpack will have that, but like it does. Like I think we say, like the trailer, it does seem a little bit dark. Because it does. It's starting on streaming. Teen Wolf started on MTV, so I think it had that kind of working against it.
That's good.
So Wolfpack, it's like streaming. I think they have a little more like leeway. And then, I mean, and Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean,
the Buffster.
More SMG, please, for the future. I mean, that'll be for horror. That'd be good.
Yeah, she definitely like. Nosferatu. I'm looking forward to that one too. What's the oh my God, we just talked about it. What's the other vampire one? Oh, Renfield. Looking forward to Renfield too.
A horror comedy.
Look, I said I like some of them.
I'm just teasing.
No, I know. Bad Moon is a great werewolf film. I highly recommend.
I don't think I've seen Bad Moon. I mean, I know the song.
The song? I'm gonna look it up too.
Bad Moon Rising? Was that a song?
Bad Moon Rising.
Bad Moon Rising?
I feel so stupid. I thought you were talking about Blue Moon, that like old song, and I was like, yeah, when they played that song in oh my God, Fallout, I was just like, oh my heart. Like it's such a good Last Voyage of the yeah, that one actually looks really good too. I'm excited for that one too. God, I forgot about all this stuff that's coming out because we've spent so much time talking about like the stuff that's coming out like right now in the next I kind of forgot about all the other stuff that's supposed to come out.
So Bad Moon, I see that's from 96. I'm literally opening up IMDb. So like
it's streaming on like everything. Amazon, Tubi, Peacock, Plex. What's that now? I need to watch that one. Yeah, I agree. That would be another thing I would want. So last year we got The Cursed, which was a werewolf film. Very very classic Wolfman in a lot of ways. However, it had some really kick-ass, like unique things going on with it that I really love. So The Cursed made my top 10 for 2022.
I like The Cursed.
I loved it. I saw it in theaters and I was just like, oh. Like I was so in love with it. And I'm going to, Norin, I'm going to check out Bad Moon. I haven't seen that one. I'm like, I love werewolves. First movie someone says, I haven't seen that one. The Cursed was really good. And you know what annoyed that was such as like a dumb thing to be mad about as a viewer. But like the original name was 8 for Silver.
I mean, that was a cool name.
How cool was that? Why did they change it?
It's very like American to have like a cool like, and my husband makes fun of this all the time. American movies, it's like it's very cool to have like a one-word title, like The Something, or.
But this is so stupid because how many werewolf movies? We literally have a werewolf movie called Cursed.
Right.
Like, and it's not the only one, mind you. I'm like 8 for Silver, like the nursery rhyme, like that would have been such a cool fucking name. When I learned that they changed it after the festivals, I was like, why?
I mean, was the title going to make that much of a difference, like in terms of bringing people in to say, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't, maybe it might have. It would have been way more interesting than The Cursed.
right. No, what I'm saying, it was like, I don't know, maybe more people would have went to see it if it was called 8 for
It was so good. I really liked it. I would love to see more werewolf movies, and not like fun ones. Like there's quite a bit of like I love The Wolf of Snow Hollow. That was a really good one. And that one is a like a comedy horror. It's not really like a, right? I'm thinking of the right one, I think. Yeah, I did like that one. And then but like I would like to see like harsh werewolf movies, like a lot of gore, a lot of like, you know, like teeth and just craziness, claws, you know. Albert and I just talked about this because like a lot of werewolf movies will do that where like there'll be like not that much werewolf. It's like we want to see the werewolf, like we want to see people dying and craziness. Like that's why we're watching this. Love Silver Bullet. That's one of my favorites. That's top 5 werewolf films for me.
Did you ever see Hemlock Grove on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, that werewolf transformation when it first happens is absolutely insane.
Yeah, so yes, I agree. Definitely gritty. Here we go. See, I triggered something. Bloody. Like that's what I want. Like scary monster werewolves. Yeah, so I actually was telling Albert about that transformation in Hemlock Grove because conceptually that's a really cool concept. Like I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was twisted, and it was I think it was one of the first things I remember seeing Bill Skarsgård in. I think that was the first time ever.
Yep.
Yeah. But then it also had one of my favorite actresses,
Jean from X-Men.
No, not Famke Jensen. I was thinking more now I'm blanking. Lily Taylor from The Haunting.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
She's great in horror.
Conjuring. I mean, like because you know what it is? She plays horrified well, but then she also just has like this magnetism to her as a performer. Like I'm just she just draws you in. And you just like trust her, fall in love with her. She's just, you know.
I think it's because she feels like someone you know.
Yeah.
But she feels that in every role that she takes on. It doesn't matter what the role is. She always feels very real, very organic, very like, you know, someone like this.
Yeah.
And that's like what makes the experience even better because then you're like really connected to what happens to her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As a character.
Absolutely. Because I think, because I mean, the first thing I remember seeing her in was The Haunting. And I know that movie gets shit on, but like the remake, I love
Does it get, people don't like that?
It's a pretty low rated movie. 1999. Yeah. I'm nostalgic.
Liked it. The one with Catherine Zeta-Jones and her and Owen Wilson. And I love that movie.
You know, I think it's iconic. I mean, like I guess people compare it to the literature, you know, like
come on.
You know, the classic.
Also, it was made in wasn't it made in did you just say the 90s?
So that's the remake. That was in 99.
Yeah. So, okay. So you have to think about the time frame that it came out into as far as like expectations of quality. Like the horror that came out around that time was a very different walk of horror. It wasn't the same as, I didn't know that was one that like people didn't like. I didn't know that.
Well, shit on that movie pretty hard. But I mean,
Salem's Lot.
Mm-hmm.
Really looking forward to that one. I am not looking forward. Well, I don't know that I'm not looking forward to. I'm not sure how I feel about The Exorcist. Have we talked about that yet? I don't think we have.
We talked about it, I think, but I don't know if it was maybe on our show. I think
maybe on the Coffee Crypt. Yeah,
we just talked about it. I don't know.
But I'm a little nervous.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. I know Ellen Burstyn's coming back, so the mom is back, but not Linda Blair, which is odd. I don't know. But I mean, they kind of did the whole like Linda Blair dealing with it again kind of thing. So
werewolf movie coming out soon. I'm looking for the title. Yeah, because I don't think I know about another werewolf movie. Definitely find the title. I don't know what to think about the Exorcist thing. I think because I have always thought it was one of those movies that like should not be like, and I'm not like, I like remakes. Mm-hmm. I have a whole series about remakes. I'm very open to remakes and continuations or whatever y'all call Evil Dead remake. And it's like, but this was one that I kind of always put up on like a pedestal. I kind of felt like it was an untouchable film. Like
Right.
you really shouldn't, with everything that happened around it and the things that Linda went through because she was a part of that film. Like there's just, and then what it is, a cult classic. Like I just always felt like they should just leave it alone. So I followed it when they announced that they wanted to make it. I followed the petition to have it like not allowed. Right.
Right.
Oh, hi. Exorcist is going to have big shoes to fill. I agree. Yeah. I think Scary Shoes. We actually Ian and I were just talking about this movie earlier today, The Exorcist. I don't remember why. But it's a scary movie. Oh, because I found a funny meme.
Wait, this is
yes. You can say hi, Steve.
Hi, Eve. Nice to kind of unofficially meet you. I've heard amazing things.
Okay, my camera.
Like it took me a second. It like registered. I was like,
yeah, because your face, you were just like, oh hey, and then you just kept going, and I was like, it'll catch up in a second. All right, well, my camera's picking up my red, so moving on. But we were just talking about The Exorcist earlier because I do think like it's a very scary movie, but I think it's like gonna have.
hi.
That was so funny. I'm gonna go back after this is done and like watch your reaction like 30 times. That was so funny.
You can literally see the light bulb turn on. You
were like, and then you whispered your reaction. You were like, it's I cannot. Frank lead. What will star? Oh, will star Werewolf Action.
I just saw a string of letters. I was like, what is that? What?
Year 2 is the name of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I got distracted. That was so funny. Year 2. I have not. That's the first I've heard of that. I have not even heard of that. Year 2. My heat actually like too much now.
We didn't go too hard into it, but Salem's Lot I am very excited for. Back when Dr. Sleep was coming out, I did like a Stephen King binge. I think I binged like 4 books in a row. I went from like It to like Shining, Dr. Sleep, Salem's Lot.
Did you like Dr. Sleep?
Both the book and the movie I like.
Tangent of a tangent. Sorry, I'm just curious.
No, I love Dr. Sleep. I really appreciate like what it does to like. I just think it was really cool how Flanagan managed to make it a sequel to the book and the movie at the same time. Like he did so much to like.
It's a smart film. I agree with that. I liked it too. I have not. I haven't read the book.
Book is cool. Book has some twisted stuff in it that they don't have in the movie. Like there's like a whole scene that takes place during 9/11, and it's like, but there's like
that scene with Tremaine, the little boy that plays the baseball player.
Oh, I know that was hard to watch. That was before I even had a kid, and I was like freaking.
Well, I did have a kid, and it was really hard to watch. Like I was really emotional because I was just thinking, like, oh my god, what like. If that were my son, like it was so bad. And then like I read an article where Stephen King talked about like I think it was it had to have been Stephen King was talking about like having them adjust the scene because it was originally worse than that.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I mean I can't imagine how. I guess if like they physically hurt the child, it would be worse, right? Because it was more of like they pinned him, right, and they were like just taking his energy. But like I guess it could have been. Oh. But I just appreciate it, and I get the changes that they made too, like what happens at the end of the Shining book. Not to spoil. I don't want to.
Yes, with the hotel.
Yeah. What did I say? Yeah. With the hotel. So like, I appreciated that they revisit the hotel because in Dr. Sleep it's a very different location.
Yeah.
Right. So like
it's a much bigger story.
Yeah.
In general.
Bigger world. It's a big world building. I really, I loved this idea of like the antithesis to people who shine. I think that was just so clever. Right, the True Knot are just like, oh man, I don't know. I almost want another book in that world. You know,
I know what you mean. I know. I really liked it. I looked up year 2. 2 scientists try to stop a mutation that turns people into werewolves after being touched by a supermoon the year before. It's in post-production. That sounds different.
Oh, I saw Matthew Kennedy, and I thought it was someone else. I thought it was Michael Kennedy. He did Freaky with Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
Yeah. That's who I thought wrote year 2, but no.
You know, another horror comedy that I liked is Happy Death Day.
Oh, I hope we get a third one. I liked
so good.
They're so fun. I appreciate just like the sci-fi spin they take in the second one.
Oh, right. I liked it. I liked both of them a lot. I think what I've noticed is that typically, like, not always, but in most senses of horror comedies that I've liked, they're slashery. Because I think it works the easiest in that subgenre as far as balance. Love those. Yeah, Happy Death Days. Both of those were really good. I liked them a lot. I don't remember where we were before the tangent started.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
Sorry.
I mean, did you hit all the things that you wanted to see? Did you like go through? Because I made a slight list, but I kind of hit all of them anyway.
I mean, I think like I'm going to circle back to like what Norin was saying like early on. I think that I'm really like, and maybe it's because I'm in content creating. I don't really know, but I feel like in general, there has been a lot of like coming together. I mean, yeah, there's been some division and there's been some things that have come up, but I think that like we're starting to see more people like opening their minds to other types of horror. So like, and I'm always going to go back to this because this is my favorite subgenre, but like before this year, like no one wanted to talk about found footage. Like I feel like I was like the only found footage person in the world that liked it. I was just me by my lonesome. And now it's like, and I'm great. I think this is great. There's a lot of people now that are like wanting to make lists and asking for recommendations. And I think Happy Death Day, right? I liked that one too. Yeah. I would also really like to see a third. I think they could do some fun things with a third. Freaky. Yeah.
Freaky. Yeah.
Can you see them on your side? I don't think I knew that.
What, the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I pulled them up. Oh,
I have all the secrets. I know.
No one say anything negative about Steven.
I get it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's funny. You said something a couple of times, and I was like, "How did you?"
I should have just like let you think I'm psychic. I should have just kept it running. I shouldn't have said a thing.
That's funny. But yeah, like I really liked that, you know, because there have been more people are really branching out into found footage, more people where people are seeing it more like, but I've just noticed in general, like the conversations around specific subgenres, horror as a whole, like people are really getting into it, really trying to, you know, learn about what there is that the genre has to offer. And I think like I'm seeing more and more things outside of like the people that we see all the time that are avid horror watchers in general, right? But like other people are like, you know, I'm kind of in the mood to like get into some horror. What's your recommendations? And there's like, you know, and I feel like I'm seeing more of that in the last like 6 months than I did the year before that or the year before that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's such a big interest, I think, more so, right? Like we said, it's like it's always been mainstream, but like we said, it's like that weird cousin that everyone's starting to pay attention to finally again. I don't, you know, because there's those moments, right, where the horror becomes like super mainstream, right? You like your Exorcists, your Halloweens, your Screams, you know. But now I think as a whole, right, look at these smaller films, right? The X's, the Pearls, you know, it's attracting more people, you know, and that's good, right? Because then I think studios will have more faith in putting out interesting, innovative horror.
Well, you know, a really good example of that is Smile.
They really pushed for Smile.
Yeah,
they really the marketing was like just top notch on that movie.
So smart on the marketing front. Feel like horror is definitely making a comeback. People are getting tired of Marvel movies. Love to see more horror in the theaters.
Don't say that. No,
no, but I know what you mean though.
No,
we're coming out of this like that's all that you're hearing about is superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like we get it. They're super.
No, I mean it definitely dominates. Yeah.
And I honestly like that's not even new stuff. That's also including old stuff. Like this past September, my birthday, I went and saw Jaws in IMAX. I had never seen
I remember
Jaws
you did
on a
that.
big screen. That was like a life-changing experience. Seriously, like I loved it. Melinda and I had such a great time going to see that. Like it was wild. Like just to be able to see it, like, you know, and it's not just Jaws. That's just the one I actually went to go see. But in general, like you're seeing more of the older stuff. They're willing to do the show times for a couple nights for an event or whatever. Also, side note, Titanic is coming to theaters.
I know it's like a Valentine's Day,
February 10th. Anyway, speaking of older things coming back to theaters, but
yeah, no, it is nice to get back. Like I told you, like I got to see Poltergeist for the 40th. That was amazing. That was freaking amazing. I sobbed like a baby. Just to be able to see it. But
Rick is a big Jaws fan.
Jaws, I got to see it at the drive-in.
That's cool too.
Which was really cool. I
big screen.
Like a big screen is fun. I know there's people they do it where they watch it in like the water.
Nope. Nope.
You ever see that when they all
I've seen it.
Sitting in floaties and they're watching Jaws? Like I
have anxiety just seeing those pictures. Absolutely not.
I don't know if I can do that. But it does change the experience. Like I also saw Jurassic Park at the drive-in, and like the T-Rex scene where it's like chewing the car up. Like when we were in the car, right? So you have like kind of the full surround sound. It just kind of
I gotcha. Yeah.
Like
I can see that. Yeah.
Makes the experience.
Yeah. But yeah, we're seeing more of those kind of things like coming into the theaters again, even the older stuff. Hopeful for
Blade, yeah. Well, that goes back to us saying like Marvel like taking a risk and like doing horror in their stuff, right? Blade is gonna certainly have like those elements of horror in it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jaws and Dawn of the Dead. I'm not watching Jaws in 3D. I would never do that. Absolutely. Was it the third one that was 3D? Oh no.
At SeaWorld or whatever.
Missed them both. That's right. Whatever it was. I don't even know.
Their fake version of SeaWorld. I don't know.
Yeah, that was not a good one. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of old horror in theaters, but the Jaws experience was phenomenal. It makes me want to do it more, like for sure. Because I would love to see more older stuff, you know, on the big screen. Things like I haven't seen Poltergeist on a big screen.
That would be, you know, I mean, that just kind of also talks about just the future of like movie going in general, right? Mm-hmm. Like since like 2020, right? Like we got so used to streaming and early releases and all that. Like, you know, theaters have to kind of come up with new ways to get people back into the theater. That's not just, you know, once every 2 months, there's a big blockbuster that gets people in the seats, right? Like that's not super sustainable, right? Like you have to have these kind of fun, interesting ways.
Here we go. Norrin, you're not allowed. We can't be friends anymore. You don't like Season of the Witch. You think I did know this already. I did know that he values Shallows over Jaws.
Oh man, was maybe I'm confused.
Shallows is the one with Blake Lively. Okay, I haven't seen it.
Surfer swimmer or whatever she is, and yeah. That was a good one. It was. I don't know if I can give that to you, Norrin, a bit better than Jaws, but it was I do like Shallows a lot. I was surprised.
I haven't seen it. I need to watch it. I think the only reason I never watched it is, you know, when I watch shark movies, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a shark. And all I heard about Shallows was there's like no shark, that it's all a bunch of other stuff. And I don't care about the other stuff. I don't care how pretty it is, Rick. I don't care how beautifully shot it is or her amazing story of survival. I don't want any survivors in a shark movie. Kill everybody. Like that's what I'm there for. I want to see people get eaten. So I will watch it eventually, and I'm sure I will love it. I'm not actually going to say that I probably will, but I just haven't seen it yet.
So relevant, not a tangent because it is relevant. Creature.
We're past the point of pointing out the tangents.
But definitely more creature features, right? Because I always go back to Crawl is like one of my favorite creature.
Crawl was really good.
Crawl, I think, right? I mean, it deserved more buzz than it. I think people like it, right? It's definitely like acclaimed, but like it needed more. People should have been talking about that movie.
Yeah, I don't hear very many people talk about it, but I liked it.
It is so good.
It's terrifying. Like it was I had anxiety like the whole movie from start
Yeah.
to finish.
But like, man, and it was so funny. We were in Florida too when we went to see it. I was like,
Was there bad weather?
I was like, we checked, right? There's no hurricanes coming this. Okay.
Maybe.
We weren't that because she was. I think that took place like down south
Florida.
Yeah. We were Boca. We were like with all the old retired folks. We were okay, if anything would happen. But
that was a good one. I liked that one.
Yeah. So more stuff like that, I think, would be really fun to see back in theaters again. I mean,
like
we're
real
getting
animals as creature features. Words are hard.
Yeah, I mean,
Did
I
you
know
see
that.
Beast?
No, I saw I know Idris Elba, who I
Come on, right? I know.
done.
Oh, hi, Josh. Yeah. Just in time for our shark tangent. I want to I Beast was good.
Yeah,
Genuinely, I mean, like I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the things. That was one of the trailers that I showed my husband. I was like, "Please go see it with me," and he was like, "No." And then I ended up seeing it. I mean, that's what happens. It's like, because I again, I love going to the theater alone, but you know how it is. Kids, family, things are going on. It's like if I don't have them to go with, sometimes I just don't end up seeing it.
Yeah, I don't go to the theater by myself. I've never been to the theater by myself.
It is. I do like it. I think we chalk it
I'm
up in our
happy that you're here, Josh.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a party.
Josh, what are you looking forward to in 2023? What's like your goals for horror? Your movies that you're pumped about? the emojis are so funny to me. They look so funny on the YouTube thing, or the way the comments come in. What was what's the other alligator or crocodile? Who I don't know. Movie, huh?
Lake Placid?
No.
Oh.
It was about they're doing like a one of those pleasure cruise kind of things. They're like going around and talking about this and that, and they get stranded in the middle of a Rick, if you're still here, what's the name of that movie? JR talks about it all the time. The crocodile movie. I cannot think of what it's called. Oh, what is it called? But they get they get stranded, and there's like one. I think it's crocodile. I should know this. It's got the mom in it from Silent Hill. What the heck is it called? Damn. Anyway, but that one was actually pretty good. It was a little slow for like a creature feature kind of movie, but I thought it was like it ended up being like pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. Apparently there was a 2022 movie called Croc.
Yes, with an exclamation point.
Oh, I just kind of I didn't even hear of it. I was like, I just typed crocodile into IMDb to see if I could.
It's called Rogue.
Rogue?
And I didn't actually find it. It just randomly came to me. Yeah, Rogue. Rogue. Came out like a few years ago.
2007.
Oh my God. It came out a long time ago.
Almost a couple of decades ago.
Whatever. That wasn't that long ago. Yeah. 2000. Jesus, is it really that? You know what? That makes sense. Silent Hill came out that same time. So her being in that movie, that makes sense.
Well, it's got Sam Worthington, who I do love.
Yeah. Definitely Scream 6, Evil Dead, Blood and Honey, surprisingly Knock. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to Knock at the Cabin. We did touch on Blood and Honey earlier because it's going to have a theater release in February. But Knock at the Cabin looks good. I haven't read the book, though, just, but it does look like it's going to be good. The cast, I mean.
Yeah. I'm curious because is this the first time Shyamalan's like adapted something as opposed to it just being his script?
I want to say no, but I don't remember what the other one was. Maybe? I thought he did another book. Was Lady in the Water a book? I feel like
maybe.
I feel like something else he did was a book too. Well, everybody hated Old. I haven't seen it, but I've heard really bad things about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his last big like hurrah, right? So
Right. That was
so
his
this
last
will be
movie.
his next. So, but this looks good though. I don't know the story. I mean, I'm well, obviously like the stuff from the trailer, but I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything else about it. So it does look like it's going to be promising. I think Blood and Honey is going to be a riot. I'm
Yeah.
really excited about that one.
I was disappointed by the mean one, the Grinch
I
one.
didn't get to see that one.
Yeah, that
Mr.
one
I'm
was.
super cool and I get to watch stuff that no one else can see. Old is
um,
not awful. It was okay. Yeah, but like you didn't like Season of the Witch. So like
it all comes back to that.
it does. Just for today. I'll forget about it by tomorrow. I'll probably watch it eventually. I think Old is streaming somewhere, right?
Probably. I think it might be on. Is it on Paramount?
That sounds right. So you didn't like the mean one?
No. And like, and again, like I love campy, like I love like shitty movies that are like so bad they're good. Like I
Yeah.
used to watch them all the time in college. Like
Yeah.
we would do like movie nights. We would go to the screenings of The Room. We would do all
Right.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but you know what? There was just something about it that just kind of felt like maybe it was trying too hard,
Oh
or
no.
like I don't know. And like the CGI blood kind of threw me off a little bit too. I don't like CG blood. I rather like honestly, even if it looks like shitty, like you
I'm
clearly
just
just
kidding, by the way, Norin. We're all allowed to have our opinions. Everyone's welcome here. Unless you're an A24 fan. No, I'm just kidding. That too. Y'all are allowed here too. I know. The
like,
way your face
don't talk about my husband Ari Aster.
I'm just joking. No, I just give people hard times about it's no like people send me like not I'm not joking. There's more than one person that will randomly send me a hereditary gift for no other reason than because they know of my disdain for that film. But anyway, continue. So I wasn't expecting it to have CGI. So it did have CGI.
CG blood. I'm like, yeah, like why do CG? I feel like there's more work in doing CGI blood.
Then just faking it with
Just
something else.
like literally just corn syrup, right? Like it's
I have a great recipe for fake blood that is phenomenal. And there's ways to modify it based on the consistency you'd like.
right. So I just
So,
feel like
mean one, hit me up. I got you for your next movie.
yeah, they're gonna do the mean one too, or the mean two. Um, you know, yeah. It's just I think you know what it is. Yeah, it just feels off. You know,
Like I said, I haven't seen it.
but I have hope for Blood and Honey. You know, I just kind of it just feels like you know what even. I don't know, just have the costume alone. I love
No. And you know what's so stupid? Because this is not gonna have a story. Like, I mean, it is. It has like a story. He abandoned them, they're pissed, they're like, everyone to die. I get that. But like it only shows Pooh and Piglet. What happened to the other ones?
Mm-hmm.
Because Tigger, when I was growing up, that was like my favorite character. What happened to him? I'm really eager to know like what the deal is with why there's not other characters.
Methinks they ate them. I don't know. I think there's some secrets in the 100-Acre Woods
From these damn kids. Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun. He thinks he ate some kids. Oh my god.
I just and it's funny because I just gave my son my old like Winnie the Pooh stuff animals from when I was
Oh my
growing up.
god. Great timing, Steve.
Good timing. Yeah, because my mom was like clearing out like all old stuff. She's like, get this shit out of my house. And so I know I have all this. I was like, oh yeah, good. I could just give this to my son. So he has a little Winnie and a little Tigger, you know.
Oliver has a couple of stuffed Tigger dolls as well. That was like my thing. And when he was a baby, we watched all of the movies. The Tigger movie, the Heffalumpa-Woozle.
Oh, I can't wait till I can watch movies with him. It just right now it's just Blue's Clues, and he just kind of stares at it.
Let's be honest. It's really more of like I just wanted to watch them, and he was too little to argue. So
Fair, good point. He like got annoyed halfway, not even halfway, 15 minutes into the Blue's Clues movie, so we put him to bed, and then I was like, Dan, we can't just like not finish this movie. so my husband I just watched the rest of the Blue's Clues movie, and you know what? I liked it. So.
Josh is getting ready to have their first, and this is Josh.
Oh.
This is a conversation you'll be a part of because that's so true. I really wanted to watch Troll Hunters. It's a Del Toro animated series. Yeah. Okay. So I was like, it's action. It's got monsters. I was like, no way is my child not going to like it? He was like 2 when I found it, or 2.5. He wouldn't watch it. So when he went to bed, I watched the whole thing by myself. I love Troll Hunters. Super good.
I mean, Dan and I joke we just had a kid so that we could go to Legoland, upstate New York, without looking weird.
You're like, no,
I
we
want
have
to
a
ride the
baby.
Ninjago ride.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I also did that with the other thing I did that with was the Disney Descendants. Have you seen those?
No, but I know of them. It's cute, right?
Oh, they're so cute. I watched all 3 of them by myself one weekend because he didn't care. I thought with the music and the colors and I don't know, like I thought he'd be interested in it, but he was not. So I watched it by myself.
But speaking of all that stuff, though, it always leads me thinking, like, more like family horror would be cool. Like, I miss the days of like growing up with like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, and like all the R.L. Stein type stuff.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool to see. Like, I wasn't crazy about like the Goosebumps movie. Like I was a little. I guess I'm just so used to like them adapting the books that it was weird to have this weird like.
I know what you mean.
I
actually thought, just on what Josh is saying about the Tigger not being in public domain, I had actually thought that was probably what it was. So there's also that whole thing where like it's a very specific version of Winnie the Pooh that's in public domain. It is only the one in the red shirt. The originals are all protected.
Oh,
it's just the one in the red shirt specifically because that's 2 different designs. It's classic and then the new age or whatever the other one is. And so I figured it was probably something like that. So I guess, but I didn't. So I guess that means it's just him and Piglet.
Right. So it's the original because then obviously the version that Disney owns isn't going to let something like this exist, right?
I guess. I don't know. Either that or somebody got fired.
Disney doesn't mess around.
No, not about that stuff, but like, yeah, it was yeah, so I did know that the one specific type of poo is the one that's like in public domain. But when I don't know, like I think too, like I really like some of the more like animated movies that I would consider like horror movie or horror family movies, like Coraline.
Coraline's great. Monster House. Yep.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Monster House is great.
Even stuff like, have you seen this was books too. Talking about making books into stuff. Spiderwick Chronicles.
No, I mean I know of it, but I never saw it.
One of my favorites. That's such a good one. It's kind of got some monstery. I guess that would be more adventure than probably horror. But anyway, but I like the animated movies that are like Paranorman.
Paranorman's a cute one.
That's a cute one.
We watched that. Was it this Halloween? No, I think last year we watched that around Halloween.
I just watched it this past Halloween. It was like the first time I'd seen it in years.
I think what else?
Yeah. Paranorman was really good.
Oh, what was that one Tim Burton did? I don't know if he did it or he produced it. 6 or 9? 9.
9. Oh my god, with the little voodoo doll looking thing.
Voodoo puppet thing, yeah.
Oh my god. I actually own that, believe it or not, on DVD. I really enjoyed Troll Hunters and the spinoffs. I liked all of the spinoffs except the alien one. What was that one called? Corpse Bride. Yeah. There's a lot of really good stuff when you start looking at but 9 was very unsettling.
Yeah. I think I was a freshman in college.
God, I wouldn't even think you would show that to children. But I guess it's kind of like
there's like, I mean, if it's done in a non-graphic, disturbing way, I mean, you can really tell mature stories to kids. I mean, it's just you got to do it in an age-appropriate way, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised with what they did with Pinocchio. I think we talked about that. Like I was shocked.
Yeah, you're talking about the Del Toro one.
The Del Toro one, not the Disney live action one. No, the Del Toro one was.
That one was so beautiful, though.
It was.
I don't know this one. Do you know this
Erie,
one?
Indiana. So that was on. Was it Fox or?
It's a show.
It was a show. Yeah, it didn't last long, but I would catch it like. Yeah, it was like early '90s, mid '90s.
Erie, Indiana
Mm-hmm.
mystery. Oh, it was a book.
I don't know
No,
if it was a book as well. Maybe it was.
one season. Oh no, never mind. It's just the way they've got the cover.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Hocus Pocus. It's got the kid from Hocus Pocus, I guess.
Oh, I think so.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't heard of this. It was a show.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, there was. I mean, like in the '90s, there was a lot of this, right? Where they had horror for kids on TV. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like because that's what I really want to do with my son is like I want to introduce him to horror, but like I want to, just also to teach him like there's nothing to be scared of and like overcoming your fears and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've made some bad choices already. We'll see how therapy turns out. I did. So I showed my son Jaws when he was like 2.5. Hear me out. It had been a long time since I had seen Jaws. And Jaws is rated PG.
Right.
Right.
As they were in kind of pre-Gremlins era, right?
Yeah. And I remember it being that bad. And other guy, sorry, the name like totally messed me up.
That's funny. Wait, is that your YouTube name? Is other guy from Blood?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We did. Well, I did a You were MIA. That's so funny. Yeah, the name like totally messed me up for a second. I was like, wait, what? That's super funny. But so we watched Jaws and I just didn't remember because I'm thinking, we really only get these little clips until the big ending, right? When we get to the end and we see Bruce and all his magnificent glory and all these things. And I'm like, but there's so much screaming and blood. And I didn't remember that. And so like we were watching it and I'm like hearing all the screaming and I'm like, ugh, like it was so awkward. And then when Bruce comes up on the boat, like that big, our big scene, my son goes, his name is Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Other guy from Blood and Bruce.
Nice to meet you.
That's so funny. So he comes up and he looks at me and he goes, Mommy, that's a big baby shark. I was like, okay, so maybe he won't eat. It'll be fine.
Oh, that's very funny. My parents were pretty lenient with me, like watching things. I'm like, I turned out okay.
You know what else is a really good like kid family horror? Have you seen The Last Kids on Earth?
Is that
it's
a series?
TV series on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
It's like if you're a gamer, if you like horror, if you like fantasy, like it's going to check all those boxes. It's really cute. It's a really cute show. It's on, I think it's on Netflix. But we watched that. He loves that show.
Okay, cute. I enjoyed there was an animated show on Netflix called Glitch Techs.
I didn't see that one.
It was like it was like gaming but Ghostbusters.
Oh, cute.
It was like kids hunting viruses or things that would get glitches that would come out of video games.
Did you ever watch? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, did you ever watch So Weird on the Disney Channel?
Yes, that was with the redhead. Right?
Mom. Yes, the mom was a redhead.
Oh no, I thought the kid was. Hold on.
No, Fiona had brown hair and bangs.
She died it then. Because wasn't it the girl from? Oh, maybe not.
The girl that came in after the fact was a blonde, but I don't know if she was.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? Okay, I thought the girl from. Oh yeah, Alexis Johnson was in.
Oh, so she has. Okay, well, she has blonde hair. I thought in the show.
Well, she so did you ever see speaking of, because we always talk about Degrassi, but it was Instant Star.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexis, and bringing it back to horror, Final Destination 3.
Oh yeah. God, I forgot about that. That was a really scary show to me. Like some of the stuff that happens in that show is really dark and scary. Like one of the ones that always got me was there was the episode where there's a little girl and she's like trapped in this town, but it looks like Silent Hill. It's like gray and misty and like but she's in a coma, and they end up having to help her come home. That was like,
yeah. But yeah, no, some of that stuff can get really twisted. I remember, I mean, there was an episode of Are You Afraid? I think it was Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't think it was Goosebumps. I always get episodes confused between two of those
mixed up. Yeah.
because I'm like, which one was what? Because they were both anthologies, and so there was an episode where it was like two brothers. They shared a room. Obviously they slept in separate beds. One of the brothers was sick, and then like the letter Q came up above his
I
bed.
remember this.
And a demon would come and get him, or it was so creepy.
It's creepy.
It was very creepy. And then I remember the one with Tia and Tamara.
Yep. And I always remember the clown one with the balloon coming up under the door and popping. That should scare me so bad as a kid. I was like, my aunt showed me Leprechaun and Child's Play at the age of 7 or 8.
I definitely saw Leprechaun early. I don't think I saw Child's Play that early.
I think I saw Leprechaun early before Child's Play. So my first movie, of course, is Poltergeist.
That was my first one. I'm trying to think. Leprechaun was probably shortly after.
I don't remember when I saw it. I used to have nightmares about Leprechaun, though. I remember thinking when I was a child that he was very scary.
It was creepy. I mean,
Chucky, I don't think ever scared me. Not like, because I don't think I got introduced to Chucky until I was older.
No, Chucky never scared me. I think the only one I ever really remember having nightmares of was Freddy.
I had nightmares about Leprechaun, and I had nightmares after I saw The Sixth Sense because I was really young when that came out too. I mean, I'm still young, but you know what I mean.
Never age.
That's all right. You're only as old as you feel. So I'm 110.
Well, you look great for 110. What's your secret?
I'll take it. Best thing I've heard today.
Oh. But yeah, like stuff like that would be really cool to see again. Like
family horror stuff.
Yeah, just embracing horror as like just any other genre. It doesn't
have to be this one specific thing. That's what a lot of people do. I mean, even people in our community put horror in a box. Like it's got to be this very specific thing, and it can't be anything else. But it's really just whatever bothers you. Like horror can be anything. It really can. And that's like, I mean, fear is universal. Everyone is afraid of something. It's just how it's presented to you that like, I'll be honest, as a content creator specifically, I had a super, super hard time keeping up with horror in 2022. The second half of the year, I thought I was going to like passed out. There's a good animated show, The Hollow. Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
That one, I don't know. I'm always weary of starting a Netflix show now with all.
I know because they always cancel it when you get.
That's what's happening now.
Disney Plus is also doing a Goosebumps television series. I did know about that. I did know about that.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Wait, yes. Is it Justin Long?
That sounds. Yeah.
I think Justin Long's going to be in it, right?
For the Goosebumps one? Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Right. I completely. We absorb so much information. I think just like all the new horror content. It's like I sometimes always forget.
And that's why when you always know stuff, you're like messaging me. I'm like, what do you do? Is there like a pill you can take that just like gives you?
It's just it's just mindlessly scrolling Twitter until it pops up at you.
Well, then I guess I just have like non-informative people on my thing, except for the.
I do try to follow like the news outlets,
That's probably why then.
Yeah, like I always have like notifications on for certain ones, like Bloody Disgusting. I always try.
Well, I got the app because you told me to.
Yes, yes, I did too.
So it's like I get that now. Like I'll get the notifications for that.
What are the other ones? Well, Fangoria. The main ones.
Dread Central. Sometimes it's behind, but sometimes not.
Yeah, but also like IGN, like anything that's also going to do like.
I follow IGN because of video games.
Yeah, but like if something's going to report on sci-fi and fantasy, they'll most likely also report on horror because that all kind of gets clumped together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's usually where you want to. I shy away from just like general entertainment news outlets, like because then you're going to get like
all kinds of shit you don't care about.
Right. I just found out that they're doing a musical series on Grease, but it's just going to be about the Pink Ladies.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was coming out, and I just
I saw the thing for that the other day.
Oh my god, I am so. That's a whole other thing.
Like, are you? But like a good thing or like a not so good thing?
I know I'm excited for that.
I'm actually really excited about it too. I love Grease.
Yeah, my husband does not like Grease, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll watch it by myself, asshole. I was like, well, that's what happens. I was like, Dan, did you hear about this? He's like, I don't like Grease. I was like, oh, go screw yourself. Like, whatever.
No, I did see that. I'm excited about that too because I like Grease is one of my favorite movies. Love it.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah,
she just passed away, right? Olivia Newton.
Yes.
Oh.
Timing on this stuff is so strange sometimes. Like, how long was this in because I mean it's in post-production. Like it has like a date, I think. I think it has a release
trailer.
date.
It's coming out, I think, in like
it's
2
out.
months.
Yeah. So or it will be out soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like really, yeah, like either next month or
and I guess that probably this is like I'm going back to the original genre of choice, but it's just random that this would have made me think of it. You saw that we have a release date for Exorcist, right? It's Friday the 13th in October.
That's fun. That is fun. I wonder. I mean,
I'm not like superstitious, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know.
Well, like, that's like when I remember when they hyped the Omen remake and it came out on 666.
Yes.
Right. They were like, I don't know how well that worked out for them. I never saw the Omen remake.
I mean, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do that. I've seen the remake, but I didn't go see it in theaters.
Was it good? I don't remember. I don't remember. I didn't see it.
I mean, I think it's just like most remakes. It depends on the regard in which you hold the first one. The first one is not one of my like, oh my God, that's such a great cult classic. I don't feel that way about the original Omen. I'm like, yeah, it's about a creepy fucking kid and the devil. I got it. Like, it's not something that's like, you know what I mean? It's not going to stick out and like wow me. So, and I felt the same way about the remake. You know what I did think was a better version of that? This is where I lose whatever it is that I have as a horror content creator. Did you ever see The Unborn?
The Unborn. Oh, was that the one with the
about the twins?
Yeah.
Woo!
That was fun.
Scary. That was scary.
You
were right. It is Justin Long will be in the
Justin Long will be it. Yeah. I like to see him back in horror.
Yes.
That movie unlocked something in me. I like Jewish horror. And again, not Jewish. I didn't know that there were so many like really cool like mythological stories within like Judaism. Like
the
Dybbuk. I had no idea that was a thing. Like, was it a Dybbuk, that one?
Yeah,
that was a Dybbuk. Okay.
But they used that one in the Possession.
Is that right?
And there's another one. It's used multiple times, but yes, it is. That is where yes.
Mm-hmm.
God, that one was scary though. The guy in the hospital gown that like bends over and like crawls. Ooh, that's just so scary to me.
Yeah, no, I thought that was definitely an underrated one. I did like that.
I think that one's also PG-13.
You know, there's a lot you can do with PG-13. I mean,
Unborn, 2009, PG-13.
Yeah.
Interesting for all those PG-13 horror haters.
I mean, if it's done smart, I mean, again, like Poltergeist is our favorite movie, and that's PG, you know?
Yeah, that was because they didn't have PG-13 yet.
No, but they were able to. No, yeah, they didn't yet. I think Poltergeist. There were like, I remember like learning there were like a few movies that made them make it, and I think Poltergeist, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom. And they like Gremlins. There was like a whole slew of movies where like
they were kind of like, we need something in between.
They were like, this is getting a little too much. We need to like. You know, we can't just make it.
Are getting crazy.
Yeah, so that's where PG-13 started. Was like those movies.
Because otherwise, Poltergeist would have been PG-13.
It would have been, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's cursing in it. Oh, brief.
Jaws
cursing.
Would have been too.
Jaws, no, Jaws. I think is R.
No, it is not.
I mean,
is it?
There's breasts in it.
Barely. I mean, you.
Oh no, it is PG. I thought it is PG. Oh,
I can't believe you questioned my Jaws knowledge. I'm offended.
They allowed nudity in PG?
It's not that much nudity. It's very dark and it's under the water.
I guess.
The shot is very obscure. It's not like everything else now.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, maybe, as a kid, as it just, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was all right.
Sometimes movies make you think you see things you don't see. That is
Maybe.
that is a real thing. That does happen.
Yeah, fair. But that also means it's good filmmaking.
It's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Exactly. It's successful at
But
its
it
job.
would have been PG-13, and only because of the gore, because there's a little bit of language, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sex outside of that
F-bombs.
one, huh?
Yeah. There's no F-bombs in it or anything like that.
No, the language is super mild.
Yeah.
It would just be for gore and terror, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, the gore,
that's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood. That one scene where that float comes back up and there's just like blood everywhere for like as far as the eye can see. Oof.
The saddest death is the dog.
Yeah, we didn't see that one though.
Pip, pip. Pip, pip.
Oh my God, yeah. There's like the moment where that happens where you're just like, like we all want the animals to live. Like
the hell with the humans. Who gives a crap?
I know. Every time we see, every time I start a horror movie and it focuses on the animal, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, immediately, I did that with, in Smile with the cat, with her cat.
Oh my God.
What
a reveal.
I didn't see that coming. I'm going to be totally honest with you. That came to me way out of left field. I was not prepared. But the thing was like, as soon as it showed her like loving it, giving it attention, I'm like, I was like, just get it over with. Like, y'all are going to do something effed up. Just do it and get it over with.
There's been a lot of horror movies with like therapists and social workers as main characters. And now I'm starting to get nervous. Because there was Smile. But then there was also a really good one last year called They Live in the Gray. It's on Shudder.
I watched that one.
You watched it? Did you like it?
Where her son dies and she like almost tries to commit suicide, but it fails. And then it's like all this. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 for me. I think I gave it like a 6 or a 7 though. I did like it. Tasha and I reviewed it on Horror Bestie Breakdown.
Oh, okay.
So that was one of the ones that we did because it was new. But I did like it. There was some good stuff in that. Yeah,
I like that had like a cool kind of little mystery to it, like that, little twists, and I enjoyed it. I think, I don't think it definitely wasn't. I don't think it was like the best of the year,
but it was pretty good for. Was it an indie film?
Yeah, it was on Shudder.
It's a Shudder original.
I don't know if it was a Shudder original or Shudder exclusive. I know there's a difference.
Either way, I think it was more indie on the indie side of things. Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good. I think a lot of those movies hit like kind of middle ground for me. Like it's Monarch, The Cellar. There's a lot of those that kind of came out, in the middle and end of the year that were Shudder originals or Shudder exclusives or whatever. And they were very like middle ground for me. They weren't just like, oh, that was really good. The two that stood out to me were The Last Thing Mary Saw, which might have been 2021. Anyway, but that one was one that stood out.
No.
And what was the other one? What Josiah Saw.
Are you thinking The Scary or something?
Hold
on. I don't remember. But anyway. I was trying to remember like they both were things that people saw. Is that what?
Oh, yeah, I get them mixed up too. I would say like it's The Last Thing Mary Saw.
Okay.
And What Josiah Saw.
Okay.
Oh, I missed the first. Okay, there we go. You forgot about One Horror Story that they release a sequel to every year. It's called My Life. The other one, I swear, wasn't showing up for me. There we go. Okay. I'm really getting okay with managing the comment things.
It's great.
Not so great. But yeah, I did like They Live in the Gray. It was a unique story. I mean, I really liked the one of my favorite scenes from Smile involved the therapist. The fake out scene.
Oh yeah.
Because it went on for so long, I didn't think it was a fake out. So then when it happened, I was like, what the I was so like invested in this moment. Like she's really worried about her.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like really invested. And then it just completely spun around. And I was like, I am like happy and mad at the same time. You know, because I was like, I just didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah. No, Smile was, I mean, was good. You know, I can't say I can't give it like a 100, but like yeah, no, it was just a solid movie.
I really, really liked it. Did you like It Follows
Yeah.
more than Smile?
No. No, I think I
No.
probably enjoyed Smile more. Just in terms of like enjoyment, you know,
I
like
didn't like It Follows. I didn't find it to be scary. It didn't engage me. Like I wasn't like, oh, I care about what happens. I'm like, I don't care. Everybody could die. It didn't matter. And then now it does some interesting things being broken down as a film, but as a horror movie, it just like totally missed the mark for me
yeah,
personally.
that's okay.
I felt like Smile was what It Follows wanted to be. That's what I felt like.
Mhm.
I
But you
love
know what? You
Smile.
gotta walk
Smile
a
was
fine
good.
line. It's a hard line to follow, right? It's like you want to make a good horror movie. I mean, but it could be both. It could be a good movie and a good horror movie, right? But like,
Yeah.
but you gotta like, I don't know. You gotta give, but then again, right? That goes back to like, what does a horror movie have to be, and what can it? Where where is the leeway?
Well, I think when you're having these conversations, it is important to remember, friends, that we all like different things. The things that work that scare you are not necessarily going to be the same that scare me, and vice versa,
Mhm.
and across the board. I mean, some people, I've said this before, Melinda is not a horror fan, but she'll go see slashers.
Mhm.
That's who I'm going to see Scream with, And Mike doesn't do gore, but he'll go see other stuff, ghost stuff. He don't care. He'll go see that
Yeah.
stuff, and like and he's not really into gore, but she's gonna sit through Evil Dead with me. Maybe buried into my
Oh,
shoulder. We'll see how it goes, but I guess it's supposed to be really brutal.
it's
But
trial by fire. It's a good one. It's a good,
yeah.
yeah, it won't be gory at all.
I said I would understand if the answer was no. I'm very understanding. That one, I'm gonna be honest with you. If like she hadn't agreed to go with me to see that, I would have to suck it up and go by myself because that's one I don't want to miss in theaters.
That's gonna be. I mean, how often do you get to see an Evil Dead movie in theaters? It's not.
Twice.
Yeah, right. It's been 10 years since the
That's
last
it.
one, right? Yeah.
Unless this renews something and they end up, doing more, which I mean, there's a lot to play with there, so maybe they will, but like it's just one of those things. It's like everybody has their different thresholds, things that scare them, things that don't. Everybody has things they're interested in or not interested in. And I think like when we're having these conversations about opinions on movies, like we have to remember that. I give people shit about not liking stuff that I like, but I like a lot, or I hate a lot of stuff that people love. So
Mhm.
I'm used like those conversations, they don't bother me because it doesn't matter if you like this movie and I don't like this movie, but it's like it's
Yeah.
so like Scott, that part sucks because I feel like people do that all the time. Like we saw that with Halloween Ends. People lost their fucking minds over that movie. They were like, you can't like that movie. You can't. It wasn't a Halloween movie. I'm like, that's weird because like Michael Myers was in that movie. Are you sure it wasn't a Halloween movie? You know what I mean? Like,
It wasn't what
calm
they
down.
wanted it to be, right? That's like,
Yeah, and that's fine to
yeah.
address it that way. Like when we talked about it in our review, I said these are the things I didn't like. And through listening to you talk about your love for it and the
Mhm.
things that you felt, like my opinions changed. I started
Right.
thinking about it more differently and like that's the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is not to prove someone wrong. It's to see if maybe they missed something. See if somebody thinks
Mhm.
something differently than you and you walk
Yeah.
away with a new perspective on something that you didn't like originally or whatever.
Mhm. And it can
That's my
occasionally
PSA for horror fans. Okay? Stop doing that shit.
take a chill pill and just enjoy it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone's got their own lens through which
Yeah.
they see whatever it is. But that's the thing is we all go into these movies with checklists, right? It's like I
God,
want to
so
see I
true.
want to see this, this, and this. And if I only get one thing out of that list, that's it. I'm mad. Or if I get nothing, I'm mad.
0 out of 10.
It's like we all, we can't go into movies with score sheets. We got to just go in
Try to relax.
and enjoy it.
And it can be hard. It's hard sometimes because everybody loses their minds over these like movies and sometimes it's really hard to separate because that's what happened with me and Barbarian. I know I keep going back to that one, but that's what happened. It's so hard to separate hype when it's that intense. And as content creators, we're in the horror conversations all the freaking time. So it's like there's no escaping it. If something is being hyped, if like this movie is just being talked about, we are going to be in the brunt of it because of what we do. So it's like, aside from it being a passion, obviously that too, but it's just different. And like, I went into it like expecting something mind blowing, and I was like, I'm confused.
You kind of have to go in like, not to just say curb expectations, but like, we can't go in expecting that. I know the hype is a thing, but like, hard. Now we know that, right? Like, if something is super hyped, we're like,
you sound like such a dad right now. You're like, okay, but now we know.
Now we.
Next time we don't touch that plate because it's hot.
Man, you change so fast after the first kid, don't you?
It's so true.
Oh man, but like, you just kind of have to like, remind ourselves of like, okay, even if it's hyped, it's like, okay, you know what? It's gonna be a movie.
Go in with an open mind.
It's hard to blow your mind, right? Like, it's hard to like. Right, like it's like you know what, it's like regaining the magic of Christmas again, right? No matter how hard you want to, you're an adult and it's hard to until
And you're right, and the other thing is like, wouldn't it be better to have that happen unexpectedly than to go in wanting it? Like, because when things like really catch you off guard, like Don't Worry, Darling caught me off guard. I did not expect that movie to leave the impact on me that it did. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. And it just leaves you. It's like, it's that Christmas morning thing. That's like the perfect analogy for it. Cause that really is what it feels like. It's like, you just got back magic of watching something when you watch how many duds, or you see how many, cause like, that's the other thing. We watch a lot of movies, and it's like, if you watch enough bad ones, it's like, God, I just want one to be good. And like, but I try so hard to go into stuff with like an open mind.
Yeah.
And I almost always enjoy it more if I do. It's been hard lately with found footage. It's been real hard with found footage. Like
it'll happen. You know what did that for me this year? And it wasn't even a movie. It was a video game. I played Inscription. It's a horror card battling game. It came out on PC like in 21, but it came out on PlayStation in 22. And I was like, okay, I hadn't heard about it. I was like, let me just get it on PlayStation, because I know they like updated graphics. They updated like they incorporated the PS5 remote better. Like that game blew my mind.
It's just my cat.
Oh.
I'm like,
once again, on the convo.
He's kind of chunky, so I was like, that sounds loud. What is that? It's just my cat. I'm sure he'll jump up in a second. Anyway, sorry. I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, it is so cool.
I really wanted to play the Mortuary's Assistant, but I'm a chicken.
Oh, I don't know that one. Is that like very jump scary though? I'm not crazy about like jump scary horror games.
Oh my God. What the Hi, Rick. Yeah.
Does he want to
probably jump up here in a second? Yeah. There he goes. He gets up here because my laptop is warm.
Oh. Tail, kitty cat.
Get settled. He like looks at me like, bitch, this is my house. I allow you to be here. Come here.
Wait, so did you like perform autopsies?
Yes, you are a mortuary assistant.
That's wild.
I'm a cat person too. Well, that's not true. I like animals in general. It's just cats are easier than dogs.
That's true.
Just from like a maintenance standpoint, they're both very easy to love. We have a shop dog at work that I adore, but they're a lot of work. Like I
love my dog,
and they have to.
No, I know. I love my dog, but she's a pain in the ass.
That's what I'm saying.
My God, I feel like we get into a fight every day. I'm like, you've been outside 20 times. You do not need to go out again.
And you know what's crazy? So I had a dog that he passed away February of last year.
Aww.
And he, like, I had him for 10 and a half years. Longest relationship of my life. I had him for like 10 and a half years. And he was like my soulmate. Like I always thought that like we were meant to be together. And I never felt that way about a dog before, but he was like the coolest, most loving, warm, like he was great, you know, when Oliver became a thing, you know, like he was fantastic. And it just kind of like, you know, I don't know. Like I just didn't I hate the dog that we like got right before we got divorced. I hate that dog like so much. And that dog was like nuts, but like high energy, not trained, like not being invested in to be trained. And so like, but I just like I was very surprised how quick and easy it was for me to like fall in love with the dog that I used to have before he passed away, because it was like seamless. We just were like meant to be together.
Yeah.
These fuckers, these things are it's just like a different relation. I'm like, I love my dog so much. My cat gets up here, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Excuse me.
He knows I love him.
Like Dan will say, it's like he'll say things like our next dog, and I'm like, we have a living dog right
You're here. Like, shh, they can hear you.
Like she's gonna know you're planning for her death. No, and it's so funny. We give her voices. Our dog has like this old lady smoker voice.
Oh my god, I love. So you know what's so funny? So my dog had like a dopey voice. Oh. Like he just kind of was like a banana, na. You know what I mean? Like a very like.
Well, you know, we're a couple of gay men, so of course we have to make our dog like a campy like a campy sassy woman. You know,
I love it. No, that's great.
Like a Jessica Lange type. You know.
I love it. That's funny.
Marlene Dietrich, you know. Oh, man. But I'm trying to think like what other things for the future though of horror. Like it's so hard to predict where the trends are going to go. Because it's like you never know. It's like one thing is successful and then it just takes off. And then we get like 20 of the same thing. And then we get right. That's...
Like, does it ever amaze you like how fast they do that? It's like they just have movies made and they're just sitting on them, waiting on the right one to like, how do they do it so fast? Because that's what happened with found. I know I keep going back, but that's what happened with found footage. Like all of a sudden it was like the second half of the year, there's like a shit ton of brand new.
Yeah.
Tubi had its first original found footage film, like just the end of this past year.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Which one? Which one did they do?
Infrared.
Oh no! I think I did hear. I didn't see it, but
that's okay.
I don't have to. Okay. Tubi
wasn't good.
Tubi's. I mean, I don't know. I saw at the Brooklyn Horror Festival. I saw Terror Train, their remake.
Oh, not good.
So it was what I liked, but only in like the last like 20 minutes. It gets like really campy and really over the top,
but like, not until like the end.
Like to the end, like the killer monologue is amazing. It's like there's literally a line where the killer just like takes like a knife and oh, no spoilers, but I cannot be stopped.
Oh dear God.
It is so over the top. It's fun. But like before that, it's like no, not so much.
We didn't talk about television. We're coming up on like 2 hours, so we'll probably wrap up in a minute. But like, and I said we'd run out of stuff if we ran out of stuff to talk about. Yeah, we didn't talk about. That's a good point, Norrin. So this, 2022, jeepers. 2022 had a lot of really great shows. Like from Chapel Wait was technically 2021, but Angel was late to that train and didn't see it. So, but Chapel Wait and From are both they're both renewed for a second season. They're Epix originals.
And then Shining Veil, I like. That's with Courtney Cox.
The Shining Veil, Cabinet of Curiosities. People aren't talking about that, but that was so good.
I actually shoehorned that into on the horror hour. We were doing the top of 22. It was just movies, but I shoehorned that one in as a TV show special mention because like
that one and From were on my top list for 2022.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I know a lot of stuff that got canceled. Like I know Midnight Club was a one-off season thing.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Netflix.
But I do love the Haunting series. I love Flanagan. I like Hill House and Bly Manor. I'm excited to see.
Bly Manor.
No.
I love Bly Manor. I cried so much during that stupid show. It's a love story. Like that's what it is. It's so good. Like, oh my heart. Anyway.
I'm trying to think what other good horror TV shows. There was oh wait, no. There's Mike. I think it's Mike Flanagan. He's also doing. I think he's doing the Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
But that's gonna be. Is that gonna be a series?
It's like a mini series. It's like it's like the.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. Okay.
It's gonna. But I think it has like Mark Hamill in it.
I'm not worried.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
It's good, and he's got Raul Coley, who I absolutely adore.
Agreed.
That's gonna be a great series. I think what else?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake, but I don't know if that's not gonna be this year. That'll probably be
not. That'll be 2024.
If they start filming it this year, I don't know. I mean, I think they're probably just starting to write.
Well, and hopefully they won't rush it anyway, because that never works out well.
No.
Like that's what I'm scared with The Exorcist, because like they like announced that they were doing it, and then they were like, oh, and it's gonna be a trilogy. And we just talked about this one. See you, Rick. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, Rick.
Yeah. They were like, oh, we're gonna do one, and then they're like, oh, like we're gonna make it a trilogy. I'm like, let's just see what happens.
See how the first one goes.
I feel like stay scared. That's his,
Stay scared. Oh, that's his.
Do you know why he says that?
No.
Because George A. Romero says that, or said that. He used to say that. I think. Okay. I'm hoping I'm getting that right. But I never knew that. He randomly said that, and I was either on their channel or they were. I don't remember when it was, but he's like, you know why I say that? And I was like, I don't actually know why you say that. I just thought it was funny and clever, but that's why. He's a big Romero zombie guy.
Oh, well, actually, I can Grimes. I can. Is that his real name, or is that? I'm assuming that's a Walking Dead reference.
It's a Walking Dead reference. Loves Walking Dead.
I do love The Walking Dead too. I told you know my history with that. I quit the show like 2 or 3 times, and then
I quit it twice. I never went back.
I don't know what possessed me to want to go back, but you know what it is? That third time was the charm, and I was like, man, I'm so glad.
Oh, there we go. That's what it was. He autographed it. His signature. Thank you. Cool. You can go now. Sorry.
I love when actors have like a little thing that they do.
It's a very author thing to do.
Or an author thing, yeah.
That's what authors do. Authors a lot of times will put something related to, the book itself, or something like I have a lot of signed stuff, and it all says something usually most of the time related to,
Yeah, I don't think Chris Claremont, speaking of, because going back to comic books, he signed an X-Men comic of mine. I don't think he did anything like that. But I have Allison Hannigan's autograph. Yeah.
I have James Marsters.
Ooh.
Right?
I love that. I wish I had that. But Allison,
you can get him to sing happy birthday to you or tell you happy birthday. He's on, what's it called?
Cameo. I only did one cameo. I wished Dan a happy anniversary with a drag queen.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Bye. That's funny. I don't think but anyway. Well, see, we had plenty to talk about.
Oh my god. Tangent galore, but I mean, we brought it back.
This is what happens when we record too.
I tried so hard to cut the coffee crypt for time, and I'm like, I can't. Because we go in tangents, but then we always find a way to like make it
tie it in.
So like,
it's an art.
It's an art. It's what got me in trouble in school. Every report card had talks too much.
Oh, that's the only reason I ever got detention in middle school.
Oh,
these skills will help me one day.
Listen, take that, calculus.
Look at me now.
Oh man.
Well, this was fun. I'm glad you were able to pencil it in.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like I couldn't think of a better first live stream.
Aww.
Yeah. It was fun.
You're the best.
Cool. We'll have to do it again. I mean, I know we'll have our coffee crypts. I think we're doing it
next week.
Next Yeah, right. Because this Sunday we're off, and then
the week after.
And then February is not a crazy month. March is a crazy month. 1, 2, 3. No, wait. I know one of the months has like April. 1, 2, 3. April has like 5 Sundays.
Jesus.
So we're gonna have to figure out
Well,
whatever week we end up. We'll figure something out. That's a crazy month.
That's too many. Yeah, we'll figure it. But yeah, thank you guys, everybody that came in, hung out, and chatted and commented, and oh my god, that was fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, make sure you're keeping up with the Coffee Crit with Steve and I. It's a lot of fun. It's like the first horror talk show. And we're really having fun doing it. So hopefully y'all are enjoying it. Yeah, that's all I have. Enjoy, the rest of your week and your weekend coming up, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.